Ed100 Chapter 6 summarizes the many important subjects taught in California's schools. This video is a brief overview of the lessons. Throughout America, if you refer to 4th grade math or 3rd grade reading, that means something because of standards. A decade ago, standards varied massively from state to state. Today, most states, including California, have adopted a set of standards called the Common Core State Standards. These standards describe at each grade level what students ought to understand and be able to do. Teachers use the standards to guide their choices about how they use their time with students. Districts and schools use the standards to choose textbooks and learning materials. California's annual state tests are matched to the standards too. Our public education system exists in large part to provide every young person the opportunity for success in college and career. In California, being college-ready has a specific meaning. For admission to the University of California or the California State University College System, students must pass a set of 15 courses with a grade of C or better. These are known as the A through G requirements. About a third of California's students meet these requirements. More than 40% of California's public school children are English learners, meaning that they speak a language other than English as their first language. California's education system provides funding, specifically so schools can ensure that all students become fluent in English. Although California is a high-tech state, it has lagged in educating students in science, technology, engineering, and math, collectively known as STEM. There's an opportunity for change as districts roll out a long-awaited new set of state standards called Next Gen Science. Tests have been part of education systems for millennia. Lesson 6.5 explains the two major kinds of tests that students take. Formative tests are used by teachers to adjust instruction. Summative tests are used at the end to measure and compare results. Technology is transforming education. For example, if you have a question, the web has answers, some of them true. YouTube is loaded with cat clips and music videos, but also with amazing lectures on every subject. Sal Khan, the founder of Khan Academy, argues that technology will and should make letter grades obsolete by enabling students to learn at their own pace and achieve mastery. How does it help a student, he asks, to give them a C and move them on to the next level? He compares it to building a skyscraper on a bad foundation. Some schools have developed individualized learning systems with successful results, but it is not a quick transition. Predictably, some oppose technology in schools at all, arguing that Socrates taught on a rock. Managing hardware, software, networks, and security is expensive and difficult. Is it worth it? Teens roll their eyes. Of course it is. Schools and communities that can afford it are providing their teachers and kids with good devices, fast access, and training. Yes, technology costs money, which makes it yet another vector for inequality in schools. Students learn most when they feel engaged in what they're learning. There are many approaches. For example, students tend to find school more engaging when they have opportunities to be creative. Arts education has suffered enormously in California through a combination of economic pressures and a tendency in many schools to focus narrowly on tested subjects, like reading and math. The new focus on STEM learning offers an angle to incorporate the arts. Add arts to STEM, and you get STEAM. New standards for art education and science education have been scheduled to roll out in 2019, which creates an opportunity for teachers to create some synergy as they rethink their lesson plans. Students learn better when they're healthy, which is a key motivator of the state's PE requirements. PE is many students' favorite subject, and it keeps them engaged in school. Field trips are hard work for teachers, but they're incredibly memorable to students. There's no special money set aside for field trips. They just come out of the district budget like everything else. In wealthier communities, PTAs sometimes help raise funds for field trips. School is supposed to prepare students for their adulthood, but in many cases, it doesn't specifically prepare students for a particular career. There are some exceptions where high schools have incorporated vocational programs called CTE or linked learning. Service learning programs get students involved in service to others, offering new perspectives and opportunities for leadership. Becoming a good grown-up is about more than academics. Some schools commit focus to developing soft skills, values, social-emotional skills, and character qualities. By the end of high school, students become voters. A critical function of public education is to prepare them through education about civics, geography, and history. This is a changing area for California as the state's curriculum framework for history and social sciences has recently been updated. Most nations include language study in elementary school because the brain absorbs languages better before puberty. But California's schools, including California's, tend to leave foreign language instruction to middle and high school years. To qualify for a public 4-year college in California, students must take at least 2 years of foreign language in high school. When students enter the world of work, they need to make wise choices about money. In some states, a financial literacy course is required in high school. California does not have this requirement. The topics instead are woven into the curriculum in other areas. The results have not been very good. And that's the high-speed summary of Ed100 Chapter 6, which touches on the many important subjects that are taught or ignored in California schools. For much more, including full lessons, quizzes, discussion guides, and our blog, visit ed100.org.